Rolling. Okay, I'm gonna introduce us. Hi, I'm Lucian with Between the Lines. I'm also known as Poetic Spit, and I'm back here in San Luis with my favorite filmmaker, Pedro Lobo. Pedro, I've been wanting to ask you, where do you draw your inspiration for your movie making? I mean, you're super diverse.
Well, hi guys, Pedro here. Well, I love movies, right? So, first of all, the list of movies that I watch, they always have something that gets my attention. Maybe the color, if it's a movie about being crazy, being mind sick, so that's a lot of yellow, so I spot that. Or it's a movie about passion, so there's a lot of pink and red, so these kind of things. They draw my attention, they get my attention. And besides that, I also follow some filmmakers like Calder. It's from Canada. He's a great filmmaker. He makes a lot of stories without saying any word, So I love that, telling a story just by moving the camera, by panning the colors. So that's how I get my inspiration, from the movies I watch, from the filmmakers I follow, and from music. Sometimes when I listen to music, I think of a scene. Sometimes I think of a place, of a smell, and that's how I make. I start something. Oh, that's some music. I want this, and that. So yeah.
Name a few influential movies and why they're influential to you.
Constantine? I don't know, man. I love that movie. It's crazy good. Like I said, it's about religion and demons and mental health. And
you can almost smell the sulfur throughout the entire movie.
So it's, like the work that Keanu Reeves did in that movie, amazing. The trilogy of The Dark Knight all the three movies, I love them. Pedro, what's your favorite movie? The trilogy of The Dark Knight from Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite filmmakers. I love how grounded he is, how dedicated to the topic of the movies he is. If he's talking about time travel, he knows everything about time travel. When he did Interstellar,
right?
That scene from the waves with the tick.
Yes.
Every take, it's
those aren't mountains, they're waves.
Exactly. That whole scene. A guy that there's a guy that I love a lot. It's he's not a filmmaker. It's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. He does the score.
He makes music.
Exactly, and he works with basically all the movies from Christopher Nolan. He's the guy who scores it. And in this particular scene from the waves, every take from the music, it's 7 years
on Earth.
That's so subtle and so beautiful. And the tone is blue, which brings serenity, but then the wave comes and breaks the serenity. So that's it. So maybe Constantine it's one of the movies I get inspiration from. The Dark Knight trilogy. Recently, the new Batman movie from Matt Reeves. It's a masterpiece, bro. It's a masterpiece. I love it. As you can see, I love action movies a lot.
So talk about some of the details that capture your imagination and causes you to be inspired or want to replicate, emulate.
For example, in the 10 first minutes of the Batman movie, you don't see the Batman. The actor. What's the name of the actor that plays? He plays Twilight. Robert Pattinson. He doesn't show up until the 10 minutes on. He only tells the story. Every shot tells a story. The characters in scene, the colors of it. So that's what gets my attention. And since I know a bit of filmmaking, while I watch the scenes, I try to dissecate, to fragmentate the scene, and that's how I get the inspiration.
You try to figure out how it's made, yeah?
How it was made. For example, Mandalorian. why are the lights from the green screen so accurate? The lights that hits the body of the actor. How is the light so accurate? And most of the background scenes are supposed to be VFX, like post production, but they're not. The LDD panels, they're doing on shot. They are 3D, and with the camera, when the camera moves, the 3D background moves in the LDD panel, so the light is real, hitting the body of the actor. So that's when I found out later. I started watching Mandalorian. That's perfect. That's the next level of VFX. We have blue screen, we have the green screen, which Marvel movies were made, but now this is the next level, you know. And when I see this, I see like possibility. How the blue screen and the green screen are not natural compared to something that can be natural. So these kind of details, when I try to shoot something or edit something, I try to replicate that as natural as possible, based on this new approach of VFX. It might make sense?
Absolutely. So obviously, as a rising filmmaker myself, it's super easy.
He's doing super fine. He's a great filmmaker. Watched his videos.
It's very easy to disappear into details and the minutia and wanting to push the limits on the details. But having gone through what you've been through, which is a lot more material and work than I have for sure, what advice would you give in terms of prioritizing that would help aspiring filmmaker grow, get better at the craft?
First, details for most people, they will not be seen. But what makes the details so important? Because they hit the subconscious. When you make a shot that needed, let's say, the trees to look, instead of greener, they should look like yellower because it's closer to fall, something like that. For most people, this will be unnoticed, you know? But for their subconscious, this will make sense. So no matter if you think, this detail is too small to be added, don't worry, just do it. If you think it's important for that specific scene,
go ahead and do it.
Yes, in your heart you'll be fine, you'll be happy, and the viewer will not see it the way we're supposed to. Maybe some specialist, some pro, but they will understand it was supposed to be there in their subconscious. You know, why is the sound happening? Why is a splash of water in the left corner of the scene happen? It's because it's supposed to. It gives, I don't know, maybe some ambient sound, maybe, I don't know. There's so many, so keep on the details. Leave the details on or add on. And if you see they're exaggerating, you're gonna feel it as a filmmaker. You always feel it.
It's like shouting.
Yes. Don't put it. Use your guts. Always. My humble opinion is always trust your guts. And of course, you need to have the technique.
Sure.
Align with your guts, but always trust your guts. Most of it.
So that's actually quite profound, because in some of my recent projects, I did spend a lot of time on some details that I cared about. But I realized, as you say, it's not for the audience, because if I do it wrong, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
If I do it right, it's like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it carries the spell of the make-believe. Yeah?
Perfect.
But what I realize is, if it's something that people rewatch and it's an important piece, like there's some symbolism, something that's more abstract, you reward the intelligent viewer with something, there's intelligence, there's intentionality in why you did that. That's a decision. The tree is yellow because it's moving towards fall. There's movement.
Exactly.
Right? And so when they see that, they will look more closely and pay attention throughout your piece, which is very rewarding for me, because then they say, oh yeah, I noticed that you chose the yellow tree, foreshadowing the next step of winter, etc. It's like, you noticed.
Yeah.
Right? So
You have to bring balance between how satisfied you're gonna be by adding details or removing some, and how the viewers are gonna be affected by those details. For example, imagine there's a close-up in someone's face. You need to give more attention to the face,
Right.
and maybe not to the background, and highlight, let's say, this area of the face. This is so subtle. It gives you a lot of work to like select this area, bring some lights to it, enhance the color of the face, the skin tones, and dim maybe the lights on the background. It takes a lot of work, but the final shot with all of it, it's what makes that scene special.
you're asking the viewer to say, look at the eyes.
Exactly. The actor is working on it. Maybe the lights on set were not good enough. You can fix that on post. Of course, today we have, like I said, LEDs to make it more natural. But if it wasn't, you can work on that in post.
Right.
To bring that detail.
And I've noticed that with some of the videos you made for me, where you use color, you faded the background into monotone black, white, or
Yes.
sepia, or you obscured it with blurred filter, so that all you see is the foreground, the face.
Yeah.
Right? You pull that out into the
I think
forefront.
I usually do three things. Either one of them, or all of them together. Like you said, I desaturate, or I dim down, like the lights, the
cool it off.
exposure, or I enhance the contrasting colors,
Right.
which is
The
the one
pops.
that I make the most. If I have someone, if the subject is a human, and the skin tone is supposed to be highlighted, something orange towards orange, then the background is gonna be the opposite, towards blue, cyan, purple, or something like that.
So I'm geeking out a little bit because I recently completed a piece called Wasteland, and it was shot without filtration or color correction, except for the final scene when we fly over the boat. That was the only scene I made warmer and made the colors pop out, because I wanted you to take notice. When everything else is just drab and very depressing, the last scene has color.
Yeah.
Why?
And that's nice, and that's intentional. There's a story being told.
Right.
It's the whole thing, and then you get, why is
Right.
this yellow? It's something
Makes you
happening.
think.
It's a war going on. There's a bomb going on.
It
It's
foreshadows something. Yeah.
is the sun coming up? Is this next season after winter?
Right. I put that in specifically because there's possibility of a sequel.
There you go.
Right. It's. I don't tell you what it is, but it's interesting. Right. It opens the door for that.
I love that. I love
That came from the Pedro playbook, man.
Yeah, Alchemist, my
Yeah,
brother's
yeah.
band. The first 5 lyric videos, they are all connected, because the end of one song, one lyric, starts the other
Oh
lyric.
my God! It's a chapter video set.
Exactly. The first song is an instrumental, like starting the album, and it's a 360 video with pillars and fire, and then the end on the top of on the ceiling, there's a lot of letters. And that's the end of the video. The next song is Narcissus. It starts with just what is written on the top,
And then it continues.
and it continues.
No way.
And because it's building up the logo of the band, the writing are like a ritual for the logo. And when the logo appears in the end of this clip, of this lyric video, the third video, which is Beyond Darkness, is the
I
beginning.
was gonna ask you, where does Beyond Darkness fit in?
Yeah, then
Number 3.
because the symbol is done.
Yeah.
But the first lyric video that they released chronologically was Beyond Darkness.
So now I have to go back and watch all 5 videos. But I like Beyond Darkness so much because Pedro himself was the swamp monster that came out of it. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
the editor, the Soul Monster, the actor, all of it.
Cameo appearance, of course.
The effects supervisor, the whole thing. The 6th Alchemist, because there are 5, and I'm the 6th Alchemist.
Yeah, the scariest one.
Subscribe to my brother's YouTube channel, Alchemist. Go there.
So, with all the experience, if you could pick one project now and have full support, what would you love to do? What's your next project that will help
As
you
a
grow?
filmmaker,
Sure. They'll keep the passion alive. They go, wow, yes. Bring everything that you've earned so far into.
it's gonna sound cheesy, but I love to work with you with the ones you send me the footage from Maine, and you remember the one with the boat, the ladies in the boat, the champions,
Yes.
with that drone shot of
sailing.
the coast.
So he's talking about the sailing video. Do you know that has helped me recruit more students because of the soundtrack? It sounds Viking, but it's Mongolian metal.
It
You know,
still
so
lingers
that,
in my mind,
right?
that song. It's beautiful.
and
That project was amazing.
the Pedro magic just brought me all the way down to the still photos, animating the still photos just
Giving
a little
them
bit.
perspective. I
Yeah,
remember
just
that.
shifting that. It was a badass video, but stay tuned because it is on my list to fly the drone over the sailing practice soon. So in the spring, if I have the opportunity, I will go out there and fly the drone over them for
Another
number
project
2.
was really amazing. Was the one with the boats, with your students going down the river.
Who?
Your students going down the river in the
Oh, the raft.
Yes,
The
the
rafting
raft one.
video.
Yeah, it was a nice
Wow.
one. All those videos, they have something special because they're telling a story without saying anything. You know, like I know it's to bring more students, but still it's amazing. You know, so all of these projects are the ones that I like the most to work with. You know, the ones you send me the videos and I just, bam, use my magic. You know, and it's amazing that you've learned a lot with what I did. I didn't actually teach you what I was doing.
I just watch
but-
what you're doing.
So just by watching you learn. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. That's
Cheers
amazing.
to that.
Cheers to
It was
that.
good inspiration.
Coconut water, best in place.
Coconut water in São Luís, Maranhão, Brazil. Why not?
Holy Mother of Jesus Christ. That's so good.
All right, so that I can do. I can give you my next series of video because now that I'm the school drone pilot, I get to fly it. And stay tuned because I'm going to even crazier places that are going to be interesting.
Oh, the balloon one, Mexico. Amazing one.
Yeah.
Crazy one. The helicopter. That's all of those.
Both of them I was terrified because I'm afraid of heights and I was nauseous.
Both afraid of heights, and we are both like high, like we're tall, but we're afraid of heights.
But I really wanted to make the video, so I sucked it up and did it.
And me editing the videos, still afraid. I wasn't there, but editing the videos, I was still afraid. Cheers.
All right.
Should we check if it was recording? I think it was recording, right?
I watched the countdown before I sat back down.
Yeah.
So, final words that you would offer to anybody who's watching this, you know, and fiddling with iMovie, you know, what would you say to them?
It's about passion, man. It's all about passion. If you really love it, just do it. Things organically and naturally will happen. Like it's happening to us. I think if you do it from your heart, the seeds that you planted, they're gonna grow naturally, beautifully green. And it's all about passion. Of course, go out there and learn how to do it. But if you do it with passion, the process of learning is gonna be natural as well. If you I need to learn, I need to do this thing in my video using this software. How do I do it? You have ways to learn that.
YouTube.
Yes, exactly. You know, I never went to a filmmaking school. I just using my guts to do it.
Watch Pedro's videos.
Yeah, you can go in my channel. There's a playlist there, and just do it. You know.
What's in your final question for all the tech geeks out there? What's in your bag? What do you use?
iPhone, baby.
Which one?
11 regular. It's an amazing device. It has everything you need for. Oh, Pedro, if I need more, I don't know, lights to come in the sensor, get a newer one, but the 11 one will make your life amazing. Get yourself also a tripod or a gimbal to stabilize. But yeah, if you have a stable hand like Lucian, you're good to go. You know, and film it in a good light place, like good light, natural light, and you're good to go. That's all I have in my. And of course, some place to edit. You can edit on your iPhone. You can do it. But if you have a chance to go there and get yourself an M1 MacBook Pro or the Air. The Air is also a great device. Pedro, I want a more versatile device, an iPad Pro. I also have an iPad Pro. You can shoot on your iPad, AirDrop to the iPad, edit. You have many apps that are great for editing. LumaFusion, which is the best one for iPad. CapCut, which is the one for social media, which is really good. And the more pro ones like Adobe Rush. If you edit on Adobe Rush on iPhone or iPad, you can finish on your MacBook or computer. So that's it. A good device, regular one, all good. Something to stabilize it, good lighting, and a device to edit. That's it. That's all you need. And your creativity. Don't forget it. Pedro, I was not blessed by God with creativity. Dude, creativity, it's a skill. It's like your muscle. Work it out. Go out there.
Learn it.
Improve it. Everyone is a creative creature, just like you. Just go out there and do it with your heart, your creativity, and your devices. I think that's it. Like, it's my device, passion, creativity, and devices.
What are you waiting for? Get on that project. Finish it. Publish it. Rock on. Pedro, as always, pleasure, my brother.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure, man.
All right, let's stop it.